The clock on my wall ticked past midnight, its rhythmic beat the only sound in my small, dimly lit apartment. Outside, the city hummed with a low murmur of distant traffic and flickering neon signs that painted the night sky in artificial colors. I had long since given up trying to sleep. My laptop glowed faintly on the desk beside my bed, a half-finished research paper staring back at me. It was supposed to be a quiet night, uneventful like so many others. That was when the scratching started. At first, I thought it was the pipes in the old building or maybe the wind tugging at a loose shutter. But the sound grew sharper, deliberate, like fingers or claws, tracing against glass. I turned my head toward the window, and what I saw made my stomach drop. Silhouette, small, slender, pressed against the window of my second-floor room. The figure wasn't standing on the balcony. I didn't have one. It was floating, suspended in midair. Before I could even gasp, the latch clicked open by itself. The window slid upward with an eerie smoothness, and the cold night air rushed in. Then she entered. A girl, or at least that's what she looked like. Pale lavender skin, hair that shimmered like strands of liquid silver, and eyes far too large, glowing faintly with a bioluminescent blue. She stepped lightly onto the wooden floor, her bare feet making no sound. Her gaze met mine, curious yet strangely gentle. Then, in a voice that was soft, melodic, and layered with an accent I couldn't place, she asked, "Can I sleep beside you tonight, human?" Middle. I blinked, unsure if I was dreaming. My first instinct was fear. An intruder in my room was bad enough, but an intruder who clearly wasn't human. My pulse raced, but something about her presence kept me frozen in place rather than screaming for help. Who are you?" I managed, my voice trembling. She tilted her head, silver hair cascading down her shoulders. "My name would not fit into your language. You may call me Lyra." I swallowed hard. "And, what do you mean, sleep beside me? You break into my room in the middle of the night and—" "I did not break," she interrupted calmly. "Your window yielded to me. I seek refuge, not harm." Her words, oddly formal, carried a sincerity I couldn't ignore. Still, I kept my guard up. Refuge from what? Her glowing eyes flickered as if recalling something painful. "From pursuit. There are others like me. Hunters. I escaped, but they will not stop searching. I sensed your mind from afar. Quiet, kind, alone. You are not like the others I have observed. That is why I chose you." The weight of her explanation pressed down on me. Aliens. Pursuit. My rational brain screamed that this was impossible, that I must have fallen asleep at my desk and slipped into a bizarre dream. But everything felt too real. The cold air, the faint hum of her voice reverberating in my chest. "And you just want to sleep?" asked cautiously. "Yes," she said, lowering her gaze. "In my world, when danger surrounds us, we rest close to those we trust. It restores strength. I have not rested in many cycles." Her vulnerability was disarming. Against my better judgment, I sighed and gestured to the far side of the bed. "All right, but just for tonight." She moved gracefully, almost weightlessly, and settled onto the bed. To my surprise, the mattress barely dipped under her frame, as though she weighed far less than she appeared. She curled up, facing me, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. I lay stiffly, unable to relax, every nerve in my body hyper-aware of her presence. Yet, as minutes stretched into an hour, something unexpected happened. The steady rhythm of her breathing, the faint warmth radiating from her body. It was calming, almost comforting. My eyelids grew heavy, and despite everything, I drifted into sleep. I awoke at dawn to find her still there, watching me. Not in a creepy way, but with quiet curiosity, like someone studying a painting they couldn't fully understand. "You dream loudly," she said. I sat up, rubbing my eyes. "You were watching me sleep." "In my culture, dreams reveal truths," she replied simply. "Yours were conflicted. You fear much, yet hope more." I didn't know how to respond to that. Instead, I asked, "What happens now? Are your pursuers still after you?" Her expression darkened. "Yes, they track energy signatures. I masked mine by linking with yours last night. That is why I needed to stay close." "Linking? What does that mean?" She hesitated, then extended her hand. "May I show you?" I hesitated, then placed my palm against hers. Instantly, a surge of warmth and light coursed through me. My vision blurred, and suddenly I wasn't in my room anymore. Images flooded my mind. Vast cities floating above oceans of crystal, skies filled with ships that glided like birds, and creatures both beautiful and terrifying. Then darker visions. Flames consuming those same cities, alien figures in armor hunting the weak, and Lyra herself running, always running. The connection broke, and I gasped for air. Sweat dripped down my forehead. That was your world," I whispered. "Yes," she said quietly. "And why I cannot return." For the next few days, Lyra stayed hidden in my apartment. She was cautious, never approaching the window during daylight, and only venturing out at night to gather what she called ambient resonance. Energy particles invisible to me, but which she absorbed to sustain herself. Despite the strangeness of it all, we began to talk. She asked me endless questions about Earth. Why humans built cities that touched the sky but allowed others to sleep on the streets, why we polluted our air when we depended on it to live, why we waged wars over land when our planet was so vast. I tried to answer, fumbling over explanations that sounded weak even to my own ears. Yet, instead of judging, she listened, her glowing eyes reflecting thoughtfulness and empathy. In turn, she told me stories of her people, how they once lived in harmony with the cosmos, navigating stars by instinct, weaving energy into art and song. But greed and power corrupted some, leading to conflict and division. She had been born into that war, and her refusal to fight made her a target. The more time we spent together, the less alien she seemed. She laughed, softly but genuinely, at my clumsy attempts to teach her card games. She hummed haunting melodies that lingered in the air long after she stopped. And sometimes when the night grew especially quiet, she would ask again, "May I sleep beside you, human?" And every time I found it harder to say no. Ending. It couldn't last forever. One evening, as we shared a quiet meal of fruit and bread, the air outside shifted. A low hum reverberated through the walls, accompanied by a flash of unnatural light. Lyra's eyes widened in fear. "They found me," she whispered. Before I could react, the ceiling trembled, and a piercing beam of blue light cut through the window. Figures materialized from the glow, tall, armored beings with the same glowing eyes as Lyra, but colder, harsher. "Hunters! Return, fugitive!" one of them commanded, voice echoing unnaturally. "You cannot hide among these primitives." Lyra stood, trembling but defiant. "I will not go back."